I'll be right there, guys, if you're with me. Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. I have no idea what happened. I have no idea what happened. No clue. That was crazy. Okay, I'm gonna give people a few more seconds to get here. So I have no idea. All of a sudden my phone went black and I looked on my computer and my Wi-Fi, like I turned off the Wi-Fi because it wasn't the Wi-Fi. I have no idea what was going on. Everything was just spinning. So apologies. Oh my goodness. Hi, Zeely. Okay, give me 1 second, guys. Go get a drink, go use the potty, whatever you got to do. And I'll be right back. I'm here. This is just craziness. Oh my goodness. Tinkle time. Linda. Okay. Oh, well, we have a few people here. I'll give it a couple more minutes. I am so sorry, you guys. I have no idea what happened. It could be an internet problem, but I did turn off my Wi-Fi and everything was still spinning, which leads me to believe that it wasn't. Maybe it's an issue with the towers close by or something like that. I do not know. Ah, so frustrating. Okay. Let's see what we can do here. Hi, Shell. Okay. Let's see what I got here. I'm going to use a little bit more of that white stuff and wait for everybody to come here. Yay, we have a few people back here now. There's Abby and Kimmy. Holy moly. I don't know. I don't know what it was. I've never had that happen before. Hi, Lisa. Pamela's back. Good. I'm glad you guys, most of you guys, a lot of you guys found me again. I'm sorry. I have no idea. And it would not let me comment from my computer to tell you guys that things were frozen. So there was nothing I could do. This is that one. It's not looking good either. Hold on 1 sec. Okay, so I'm just gathering. I was trying to find a better brush. Apparently, I don't have many. Let's see what I have. Oh, here we go. Jeez. I don't know why I didn't see this brush before. Okay, sorry about that. My bad. Rosemary's here. Mona, you're here. Yay. Oh my goodness. I have no idea what happened. Okay, but we are back and hopefully it won't happen again before the end of this live stream. Okay, I found a much better brush. Oh no. Oh no. That's okay. It's still up there. You have time. Okay. I am mixing together a little bit more of this pencil and brush stuff because I felt like I didn't do a very good job because my brush was failing me. There we go. So I just want to show you guys how this works. And what I do like about this stuff is it is very opaque. So it's definitely more opaque than my my trusty Posca, which I do love, just not at the moment. Okay, so as I believe I was showing you before I got interrupted, I was using a very sharp, see that? Razor sharp. Is Belinda with us? I just used my favorite sharpener that she sent to me. Okay, and now I'm gonna go in here and I'm going to remove what I don't want. The beautiful thing about it, works better with a gel pen, I think, to do this, or sometimes with a Posca. But the beautiful thing about this brush, what's it called? Brush and pencil stuff is that you can draw on top of it. So I'm gonna go back into my dark green just for a second, and I'm gonna make sure it's super sharp. And this would be a good time to use something like a really hard pencil like a Verithin. I don't even have that one sharpened yet. But like this Verithin does come in grass green. I don't think my set, is it a dark green? Or peacock green? It does have peacock green, but I'll just use this. We'll make it work because I want to show you guys I don't have that. But I can go back in and you can see I can draw right up to it, right over it, and get a really crisp line there. And that is what I like that for. I'm gonna have to get a link for you guys for this stuff because I know some of you will want it. But you can use gouache, you can use watercolor, it's the same thing. Watercolor and gouache are the white stuff are the same thing as one another, not as the pencil and brush stuff. It's something separate. But the thing that I like about using these is you can, the colorless blenders, you can scrape away some of the excess. And the other thing that you can do is you can color on top if it's dry enough, which is what I was going to show you on the other page. So if I want some of these to look more secondary, I'm using this light green on top of these right now. You can see now they aren't standing out as much as this one is. See that? So that's my little magical trick there. That looks pretty good, right? So there you have it with that stone. Oh, and the one thing I did not do is I didn't deepen around it to make it, this is black, to just give it that extra little bit so it looks like it's tucked under this bezel. I think I was calling it a bevel before. It's a bezel. I should know that. I used to take jewelry classes. So I wouldn't do the whole thing. I wouldn't outline it, but it's nice to have like a little shade thrown in there so it's consistent. Now, one thing I don't want you to do is don't forget that these lines are going to continue into the shadow part, right? So if you have those stripes and striations and stuff, you do want to continue them over here. And that's what's going to make your stone look kind of rounded. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I sound like Emily. That's funny that you say that because I thought when I first heard Emily, I thought that she was from the Midwest, which I am, but she's not. I was wrong. I can't remember where Emily said. I know she moved, but I can't remember where she said she was from. It's funny that you say that, though. I pick up on accents, too. Okay, so there's that. Now, I was going to go back to the one that we did, but I just kind of did it for you. I was just going to show you how I can scrape off some of this excess if I don't want it, if I've laid too much down. And I can also soften it by scraping the surface of it off. Okay, so you've seen me do that a couple times now. All right. And then next what we're going to do is we're going to do our little pearls. How about that? How about them apples? All right. So here we go. With the pearls, I'm going to start with my 908. Where is my 908? Here it is. And I'm going to do this little row of pearls for you guys here, okay? And what I'll start by doing, and first I'll say this, these pearls were all created as grayscale pearls. So it's going to be a different approach to doing these than if I were to help you create a pearl from scratch. I do have, I always pull this out to show you guys if you want more instruction on how to do pearls and some other stones. There's a giant pearl right there and another giant pearl right there. If you want to do more of those, then The Secrets of Coloring is a book that I did a couple of years ago, and it has lots of stones. This one here too, a variation of turquoise. That's how all those stones are step by step in this book. So, whoops, and I just dropped my pencil. So you can see it's all laid out for you. So if you want to learn how to do different kinds of pearls, that's in there. So that's Secrets of Coloring. There's also some other stones. I have a second book, Secrets of Coloring 2. Aww. Thanks, Abby. Yeah, Secrets of Coloring 2. I'm going to pull this one out. It's sitting right here. This one, Shell? So this is the Secrets of Coloring 2. This one doesn't have as many stones in it. This one focuses on skin tones and different kinds of fabrics, candy, all kinds of goodies, right? Like all those. Yep, so, and it's all step-by-step stuff. But there's not a lot of stone stuff in this one. There's a lot of glowing stuff. You can make your own magic mushroom, or if you're feeling really ambitious, you can try doing a flower, a lotus flower, right? So anyway, I won't get too much into that. But if you do want to do other kinds of pearls, those are in those books. So we're going to do these pearls today, though, and these are grayscale pearls. They're already set up for you. So basically the light is where it needs to be, the reflection's where it needs to be. All we have to do is choose the color. It's going to be really hard to mess this up. I'm going to start with dark green, which is 908. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around, and I'm basically going to kind of outline each one of these pearl shapes with a really sharp pencil. And what I like to do is I do two things at the same time. I do this little outline, and I hit what's called the core shadow, which is this dark shadow that goes across the center of each pearl. I call it the belt of the belly. So it's going to go across each one. So you can darken that at the same time, just a few strokes. You can see how I'm handling it all at once. And then I'm going to circle and add the core. Those are basically core shadows. Let's see here. Zoom in a little bit for you guys. I cannot believe we lost that connection. I'm going to have to, that's just crazy. My husband has been doing teleconferencing from home for work, and every once in a while he loses his connection, but it's also based on servers at work and stuff like that. So I have never had lost a live stream before. So I guess there's always a first. It's 2020. Okay, so, and if you're just joining us, we just did Malachite, right? And now we are doing our pearls. And if you guys want me to, I'll do that faceted stone as long as these ones don't take too long. Hi, Lisa. Hello, my friend. Okay, I'm getting these pearls real quick. Lisa, have you ever been live before, and in the middle of your live stream, all of a sudden your device goes black and all connections are lost everywhere? Because that just happened. That was lovely. That was a first. And I was in panic mode too. Okay, so you guys see what I did? I just outlined lightly, and then I hit what we call the core shadow of each one of these. Okay? Each one of these little pearls. I'm going to do the last few here, and then you guys are going to be on your own to do this row. Does it happen to a lot of streamers, Linda? Because that's crazy. I don't know what you do when that happens. I've never had that happen. But again, you know, I'm getting used to doing this YouTube things. I've done a lot of Facebook Live videos, and I've never had that happen. Ever, ever, ever. Okay. Okay, well, that's what we're going to do. We're going to start a new stream when that happens next time. I just feel badly because I have to hand over this. I'm going to have to hand over 2 videos to the magazine. Okay, so, oh, well, that makes me feel more normal. Thank you. Okay, so I've just used one color here. Okay, one color, and I've outlined and I've done the core shadow on each of those. You see that there? Okay, so the next step is I'm going to take that 912, that warmer color here, and I am, let's see, going to go on the top side of each of these. I'm going to go like around these little white reflections and in between them a little bit. The highlights, I should say. Sorry, I didn't start from the beginning. So you can see I just missed this one here. I'm leaving a little bit of that white showing. I'm just going in and getting all the tops of these. But so far this is pretty easy, right? Ah, okay. Well, that's what I'll have to do. Thanks, Lisa. What a nightmare. Okay, so I just added that. Now I'm going to add a cooler color, and here's where our 992 comes in. A cooler color on the bottom. Thanks, Linda. It is easy. It's really not that hard. It's just you have to think about what you're doing. You have to like think logically about it. So what I'm going to do is on the bottom, I'll start from the end this time. On the bottom half of each of these, I'm just going to brush it lightly with a little bit of that light aqua. And what this is doing is this is a cooler color, and it's kind of like reflected light. But then again, if you look at pearls, especially like Tahitian, green, or black pearls, they do have variation in color as well. So we're playing that up a little bit. All right, that's pretty quick though, right? Okay, and then the last thing that I'm going to do here, well, I shouldn't say last, but one of the last things, I'm going to use a little bit of chartreuse. I have 989 here. So if you don't have your chartreuse out, you might want to grab it. And I'm just going to hit a little bit of some of these pearls, a little bit more than others because we want some variation. Just on the top half. Do not do the bottom. And that's going to give us that sort of, well, pearlized is probably the right word to use, effect here. It's going to help with that. And pearls, unlike other stones, are generally speaking, the overall value or tone of them is usually not real dark, like 100% black. Okay, it would be unusual, especially for a pearl like a white pearl. You would never see that in there. So we don't want to use too much dark. I am going to use black to go around them just to make them stand out a little bit more, but just a little bit. So I'm going to take my black, and it's just really to separate them a little bit. I'm not really outlining them. I'm just going up in between them a little bit just to make them pop a little bit more. They're getting there. But you see how easy this is to do with a grayscale page. And if you know the parts of a pearl, then it'll make it easier too. So I recommend that you all, if you haven't yet, go to see one of my very earliest videos. Well, I think my pink pearl was the first one I did, I believe. And then there's a blue pearl and there's a black pearl back on, it's all on this YouTube channel. They're from like 4 years ago. And that's what inspired me to create those books. Okay, so you can see now that it's really starting to glow a bit, right? And it really didn't take that much. Just add a little bit more here. Okay. Aww. Thank you, Linda. Linda's been with me for a long time, my friend. Okay, so I'm using my Jelly Roll again, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit some of these spots that were white, and I'm going to add like a little fleck. And you can add one on the bottom here and there too, and that'll really make it zing like that. You don't have to put them on all of them, or you can. It's up to you. There we go. And I think that they're starting to really look like they are there. Right? All right. Okay, perfect. Thank you, my dear. Okay, so there are your green pearls. There is your malachite. Do you guys want me to show you how to do a stone real quick, a faceted stone? I did, zoom out just for a sec. Okay, so this stone, these stones here, they're all supposed to look like green faceted stones, like emeralds. What's another green stone? I can't think of the name, lighter than an emerald. But yeah, well, the easy part is that this is all done for you already in Greyscale. It's already here. All the information you need is here. So it makes it hard to mess it up. So we're gonna just go through this, and I'm gonna show you how I did it on my actual drawing. Okay. Peridot, yes. Thank you, my dear. Aw, thanks, Donna. Thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna start with, I think I'm gonna start with my dark green, which is 908. Okay, let's see, do I have it zoomed in as much as it can be? Because I want you guys to see. This is super quick and super easy. We're almost done. And then you can apply all of this to all of the rest of the stones here if you'd like. And then you can look in my Secrets of Coloring book for gold tutorials or pewter tutorials. So what I'm going to do is on these, the darkest shapes that you see here, which would probably be this one here, this one here, this one here, this one here, and I could do this one here. Or maybe I'll do a combination, but I'm going to do all those really dark. So I'm just going to color those in as solid shapes. The important thing is that you use a really sharp pencil, and we want to leave the little white lines that you see here, we want to leave those intact. Those are really important. You don't want to cover them up. Because in a real faceted stone, you will see lines dividing the facets, and that's how it looks that way. Again, I'm using my green, my dark green. This little shape right here, we'll do dark green. Some of it you're not even gonna be able to tell because it's already so dark. Not too dark in the grayscale, but pretty dark, so it shouldn't look that much different. Aw, thanks, Lisa. You should see what Lisa's doing, but it's all a secret right now. I'm doing this, I've decided I'm gonna do this shape too, but I'm doing it a little lighter handed, because I'm gonna add some of my, my peacock green on there. So this is 907. Because real stones have a lot of variation in the facets. That's what makes them pop. That's what makes them look real. Okay, I'm gonna do this one here. See, this is not sharp enough in my opinion. So if I were you, if you have a pencil that's this sharp, take a moment and don't mess up your drawing. And really get it sharp. So this is how sharp it should be to do this, if it's this small. Okay, so now I'm using my peacock for a few shapes. Again, being careful not to cover up those little white lines. I'm going to do this little shape, partial peacock and partial grass green, I think. So I'm not going too heavy there. Right here. Oops, I just hit that white line, not like I was supposed to. All right, so now I'm going to go into my grass green, which is of course not sharp enough. Just give it a whirl, and now we're good. And I'm going to hit this shape here. And then I'm going to go over this a little bit. I think that looks pretty good. And I'll use a little grass green here and maybe mix this, since this is more like a middle tone green, slightly darker than middle, I guess. I could have used true green as well. I think I'll use the lighter version of that as well. The light green is just like the true green, it's just a little bit lighter. Is that it for that? Looks like it. Okay, and then now I'm going to use my apple green 912. I'm going to do this last little shape right here. Belinda! I was just using my sharpener, Belinda. Okay, so it looks like I've got most of these shapes colored. I just might want to go in here and sharpen this one up just a little. That looks pretty good. And then the thing that is really, I want to use a little bit of grass green on top of that. It's looking a little too yellow to me. And these colors, the 912 that I was using before is a very vivid green, and so is the grass green. So they make nice bright colors. Now, something that you'll see with a faceted stone, if you guys can see this without it slipping out of my hand, if you look at facets, when I turn it in a certain way, see how there's highlights on there, and they kind of block everything out. So you can actually see the reflection of my light in there. But you also might notice that this top surface turns a little bit more grayish than the surrounding surfaces there. They have more light and more color to them. So I'm going to treat this top surface like it's more of a grayed out surface. So I'm going to use this really light minty green, which is the light green 920 with a sharp point. And I'm just going to hit this shape right here. This is kind of like color by number. And then I'm going to do this one over here because they're a little bit lighter. And then what's left over is the only thing that I'm using this color for, which is my 1021. And I'm just, it's jade green, and it's really like a grayish green, and I'm really just going to get those last couple of shapes in here. And then if you look at it at a distance, it really should look like a very glassy looking faceted stone. I can't talk. I'm sorry, I've been a loss for words. Now this one I did a little bit brighter. If you want to go in and add some brighter colors, you can do that. If you want it to be brighter. But that is the basis of it. And that's how we do these faceted stones, like basically broken down. And yeah, and I think that that's it. So let's see if I can pull this up so you can see what we've accomplished. So we've done our malachite, which is an opaque, shiny stone. It has no light passing through it and has different bands of color to it. We've done green pearls, which are pearlescent, for lack of a better word, and which have multiple colors within them. And then we've just done a quickie little faceted stone, so you guys can, you know, easily figure out how to apply those kinds of colors there. And again, you can change up those colors. I could do that in violet and just use the same formula. Use duller, lighter colors in the center and more vivid colors on the outside, and some flecks of darker color as well. So hopefully that works and you've learned a little something today. And thank you guys for sticking through all of the technical difficulties, hanging in while I was panicking behind the scenes and yelling at my children and telling them to get off Wi-Fi. And yeah, so I really appreciate your being here. And I will be doing some more videos shortly. And again, we've got some stuff coming. And anybody who's joining us, please subscribe to my channel, ring the little bell so you get alerts every time I go on, because I know it's not real often, and oftentimes it is very last minute. I will try to schedule some YouTube stuff this summer well ahead of time. That is my plan. So for those of you who've been asking for that, it is coming. Thank you for your patience, and thank you for coming, and have a great one, you guys. Bye-bye.